Alright, timestamp it is July 26th, 2026, a little bit after 6 a.m. I think we're supposed to be doing the mom call here in a bit. It's Sunday. Um, I haven't seen pics yet, though. She's probably crashed out in the master bedroom. Yeah, I got up an hour or two ago. I did very little yesterday. I just couldn't quite get it together. Woke up yesterday, kind of panic attacky. I knew I was having some kind of crazy nightmares. I know I was, but I can't remember the content. Woke up kind of not disoriented exactly, but like out of phase. Hard to explain. And I could never really. I did dishes. I made giant omelet, scrambled egg with veggie for everybody. Did some basic stuff around here, but for the most part, it just kind of existed. I just couldn't get it. Yeah, exactly. That was my brain. Yeah. I don't know. I had enough financially wise to go ahead on a card to do a Walmart order, try and get some creamers in before my kids, killed people. Here's the thing, I am a fan of sweet Italian cream. Usually it's in a purple bottle, depending on where you get it, or it'll be a white bottle with purple writing. It's always like lavender purple. Just is. When I ordered each of them a bottle the other day, or picked up a bottle rather, I got myself one too, even though I already had some in there. I was still nursing the half a bottle that I started with, and they had already killed off all the creamer. I think it was really Alex more than Tiny. This Alex doesn't realize how much creamer Alex uses. So there was a creamer emergency, much like the one that started the conflict with Walmart the other day, when they, in 2 orders, couldn't figure out how to get it from, A to B. So, got in some creamer for them. Hopefully there will be no shots fired. I'm optimistic, for now at least. I just let the dogs out a few minutes ago. Why are you looking over that way, Sam? Acorn? Peculiar. Sammy was like dead set staring off the warehouse, or the warehouse workshop. Like a warehouse. Alright, cookie time. Yeah, I know. Excited too. Careful. Almost lost a finger. Mutton chops. Here you go, good boy. Here, let me get through. You don't have to actually eat right there. Eventually we'll have pathways right here. And we're discovering that Sammy has food insecurities. Keeps taking the bowl, like nestling in between his front paws, just laying there and casually eating, not letting anybody else get at it. Yeah, I'm talking about you. So, I'm not sure what we're going to do there exactly. but it is making our methodology of free feeding a little awkward. So the bowl is currently upside down, which is the way he left it after I filled it twice in the past 2 hours, having just gotten up. We could have problems. But, yeah. So, woke up about 2 hours ago. Went to bed early-ish. Acorn, let me get through. Thank you. Because I wanted to get my schedule back online because very out of whack. So, yeah. Went to sleep with Firefly on. So that's us on the Raggedy Edge, right? So today we're supposed to do mom call, and then we're gonna head to George Station, mow the lawn, which apparently is out of control. Yeah. Guard the empty food bowl. Good. But yeah, mom called, then George, try and load the car with the next batch of Near and Dear, and talk to the various people in the neighborhood who have said that they want to buy the place. Figure it's a Sunday, so it's a good day to make contact. We were going to go yesterday, but I begged out with pics. I woke up late and crazed, so it's very strange. It's really felt out of phase. It's the only way I can think to put it. I don't know. Health check, I feel pretty good. Yeah. Yesterday, not so much. It's really weird. And I've had a couple days like that in the past year or so. It's like I feel like I'm observing, but not really there. And no narcotics were involved, so, if that were the case, I'd get it, and I'd be giggling more and want peanut butter, Boy. Come on, Tannhauser. Yeah? I swear your tongue's bigger than your body. Very strange. Acorn, I gotta get in here, bud. Okay, I'll just step over you then. Alright, cool. Good talk. Alright, there you go. Yeah, he's grown on me. Cute little bug. Really not used to little dogs. Mr. Scrappy Acorn is about as small as I'm used to, and he's still a 40-pounder. I had a lab chow mix in my early 20s. Kind of built like an even stockier chow. He was about 40 pounds. Not sure what happened to him. The landlord started pressuring. This is when I was married the first time. The landlord started pressuring us about the dog being maybe too big to be there because they had a weight limit. We were trying to work it out. And I came home from work one day and my dog was gone. My wife had done something with him so that there were no more problems. It's kind of shit I dealt with here and there. She did that to a cat I had too. Yeah. Nice, right? Can't figure out why it didn't last. Weird, right? How can a relationship, very obviously based on love and communication, not go so well? It's weird. Pigs would never do that. Wherever he went, I hope he had a good life. His name was Phantom. He was black. Half his tongue was purple. He was kind of built like a chow, but with like lab features. It was like a miniature Labrador. He was a cool pup. Well behaved. Knew all the basics. House trained, all that. So he was probably about 4 years old when he was left my life. Hopefully he found somebody new and was able to start over. You know, I hate to think something bad happened to him just because that wouldn't have been really fair to him, you know, at all. Not cool. Don't do that to somebody. We were working it out. Marvin on a roller coaster. That's me. Doing some of the Barissimo vanilla. It's a good start to the morning, you know. Not even gonna ask Cam. It's just like staring off into space, smiling and panting hard. You just happy to be here? Yeah. Okay. Your tongue is like half as big as your body. It's really quite strange. Yeah. Big fan of Kiss, maybe? Is that the thing? Yeah. I was always more an AC/DC guy, but, you know, it's cool. True story. So, yeah. Not a lot to report. I'm going to keep this pretty short. Hopefully we can get offers, competing offers or something like that on George. Start the ball rolling in that direction, which would be a huge load off. The gist is we want to, I'm pretty sure one of the two is incredibly serious, because they've actually brought the subject up to us, me twice and Pix once or twice in the past like year. You know, when a neighbor basically comes up to you and says, hey, when you get ready to sell this place, talk to me. You know what I mean? And you know that they actually have the wampum to do something. I have a feeling we can probably, and it's a gift, because in the Florida housing market, you know, you can spend years trying to sell a property. I mean, you can sell a property in a week too, but it can take a long time too. I don't think it's going to take a long time. I don't think it's going to take a long time, which is great because we want to, plunge forward with our endeavors. So hopefully, and I don't mind if the bid is low. You know what I mean? If it's the property's assessed at like close to 400,000, Florida market. The house is in rough shape though, so I know I'm not going to get that kind of offer. But I also don't want to get like, I'll give you $1. That's not acceptable either. So I know the numbers I'm looking for, and that would get us out of a lot of trouble. Not that we're in trouble, but that kind of check would definitely help us. It'll help me quit smoking for one thing, because I won't be stressed about that. Knock my glasses off my face. Because I am a stress smoker and I need to not be. But man, I was almost quit too, and then my mom went back in the hospital, and it all just came rushing back. I was smoking like 2 or 3 cigars a week. The cigarillos. That's how much I wasn't smoking at that point. It was beginning of January. It was right before she went, last year, right before she went in the hospital. She went in the hospital and I was just, starting all over again, My own personal weakness. The past 3 years have been, my wife is awesome. My kids are great. But my parents have put us through so much, May. If you've never been through anything like this, maybe you can relate, maybe you can empathize. This has been a very difficult 3 years. Easily the most difficult 3 years I've had in my life. And I've been through some stuff, but this has been just grueling on my brain, my spirit. Not a fan. So I'm going to call it here. So, hug your parents, hug your kids. Make it a great day.